So today I would like to give you an update on what's going on with Xbox and their new Xbox business strategy of releasing some of their first-party games on other platforms. So let's talk about how's it going and what's going to be happening in the future. Let's look into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm sure you all remember the big drama that was going on surrounding Xbox and their new business strategy of releasing some of their first-party games on other platforms. So all that was happening really last month, and even though it was addressed, at least some of these concerns were addressed, that particular Xbox podcast that Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and MaDz were on, and they were talking about the future of Xbox. That particular podcast show actually left us all probably, or most of us, with more questions than gave us answers, really. But things have happened since then. Some of the games, all of their games were announced. All games that are coming to PlayStation, Nintendo, and also Pentiment, one of these four games, did release already for Xbox, for PlayStation and Nintendo, I believe. So today I want to focus on that. I also did hear some interesting things about their new business strategy. So yeah, I want to talk about that really. So first off, Pentiment is out for PlayStation and Nintendo. It released on February 22nd. Actually, that game actually released for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. So it's a cross-gen title. There was a little bit of a controversy surrounding Pentiment on release because Pentiment actually still offers 120 frames per second option like mode on PlayStation 5, while on Xbox Series X is only 60. So I know that developers did address it, meaning they did say it's a bug and Xbox will get that 120 frames per second option soon too. But the fact of the matter is that it's just not a good look for Xbox, right? They kind of delivered a better version for PlayStation 5 really, right? And I know that it doesn't really matter in that particular case, in the case of this particular game, because it's like a slow-paced kind of a story novel, really, not really an action game. So, this game, may as well run at 30, right? Nobody would really care, but it's still a bad PR look on Xbox, right? So, it's a very unfortunate, I guess. But anyway, another thing about Pentiment is that, except, that particular, I guess, a bit of controversy, nobody really talks about this game on these platforms. Now, I haven't really seen any sales numbers, nothing like that, but I'm judging by the amount of chatter about this game on social media. Nobody really cares about this game really on these other platforms. So I know that these four games coming to other platforms is a sort of experiment. So I'm not really sure how is that experiment doing right now. But judging by the social media, Pentiment is not really doing that great on these other platforms. But we'll see how that goes later, I guess. Another problem I see, and I just don't understand Microsoft and Xbox thinking about it, because they decided to release these four games because Pentiment released already. Hi-Fi Rush is coming on March 19th. It's coming to PlayStation. Not sure. Nothing about Nintendo. I was pretty sure that it's coming to Nintendo. So anyway, Hi-Fi Rush is coming out in literally 2 weeks' time. Then we're going to get Grounded. So Grounded, it's PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch. It's coming out on April 16th, and then Sea of Thieves April 30th. And that's only PlayStation 5, so there's not going to be any Nintendo Switch version, at least not for now, which is kind of weird but anyway, maybe they need more time to optimize for Switch, who knows, right? So, if you look at the release schedule for these games, they did not really spread these game releases out, really, right? And I know that they are not really the latest titles and everything, and Grounded and Sea of Thieves are kind of games as service, so people will get to play this game anyway, because you can play it like for 3 years, even longer. So the community around these games will probably grow on Nintendo and PlayStation for sure. But still, it's weird that there's no marketing surrounding these games. At least I haven't really seen any yet. And so the real question is, why did they release these games? I mean, because you would think that they would release these games to make money, but I mean, they don't really seem to be interested in investing big money in marketing. So, and like I said, I get it with Grounded and Sea of Thieves. These games are kind of known, I guess, and they are games as service, so people will play it at some point in the future anyway, and if they like it, they will keep on playing, right? So service games aside, still Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush, I mean, there's hardly any marketing. And also another thing is why did they release these games pretty much all these games within 2 months, when March is pretty hot when it comes to releases, especially on PlayStation, because Final Fantasy VII is out. There's this Blade game coming soon. Then there's this Ronin game coming out, I think, pretty soon too, 19th of March or 22nd of March. Dragon's Dogma is on the horizon. It's coming out this month too, and there's probably a couple of other games. So I mean, I don't think it was actually that I what. Honestly, I would think that releasing these games during summer would be a better idea than right now, when especially on PlayStation, when dudes will be playing Final Fantasy VII for next 2-3 weeks, if not longer, right? And there's these other games coming too. So I don't understand it. But hey, it's a typical Microsoft, I guess. Hardly any planning. I don't really want to offend anyone, because obviously, I'm sure they know what they're doing. I mean, I would think so. But anyway, it still looks weird from this side, from gamers' perspective. I don't really know what they are aiming for. Are they aiming just to push these games out and forget about it? So what's the purpose? I would imagine they want to make money, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? So that's my point. So the big question after these games, once they all release, will be, what about other games? I mean, are other games coming out or something? I mean, obviously there's been some rumors suggesting that there's other games coming, and I would believe so. I do believe that's going to happen, but I just personally don't think that we'll see all Xbox games on other platforms. I mean, you can clearly see that, for example, Sea of Thieves is coming only to PlayStation, not Nintendo, right? So there's, specs limitations. So that's one thing. But another thing is that, I still believe that Microsoft wants to they really do want to sell consoles, right? I know that sounds weird because they've been really telling you in some of the adverts that you don't need Xbox console, but it's just for people that don't really care about consoles anyway. But for people that do care about consoles, that they want consoles, they want to sell consoles because there's a lot of money in consoles still, right? I mean, 5, 6, 8, 10 years from now, who knows? That may change, right? Like I said, like my son, and his friends prefer to play on mobile phones rather than consoles, or they rather play on PC, right? So it's a different demographic, right? I mean, I guess I feel like, my, people at my age, we are probably like a dinosaurs, right? Completely different to what's going on with these kids these days, right? That they were kind of raised with screens next to them, like swiping things on the mobile and everything, right? So because it's just easy, right? So anyway, we'll see how that goes. PC is growing too, but anyway. So yeah, I mean, there will be more games coming to PlayStation, Nintendo for sure, but I don't expect all Xbox games there, right? I mean, I would expect like all ABK games to be still multi-platform. I don't see any reason to keep them exclusive anymore. There were some rumors suggesting that like new games may be exclusive. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm still not 100% sure with Bethesda. Starfield is still an exclusive, but I mean, I feel like Bethesda games may be not necessarily day one, but later, right? Maybe coming to PlayStation later, like Doom, Wolfensteins, these type of games, Fallouts. I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to see any Fallout anytime soon. I mean, except that big Fallout 4 update. So I would imagine that I can see these games coming to PlayStation, these Bethesda games coming to PlayStation later. And look what's going on with Starfield, for example, or Indiana Jones, right? Phil Spencer did say that these games are not coming to PlayStation. Well, at least not now. So that shows me that, Bethesda games will be at least timed exclusives. But other than that, I would imagine that at least these core Xbox IPs like Gears, Halo, Forza, I mean, I don't think these games are coming to PlayStation ever, unless something really huge will happen in the gaming industry, like they would all come together and release all their games on competitive platforms like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So I think that's the new Xbox approach, like games from their Xbox game studios probably going to be exclusive, except games as service. I mean, potentially we could see Halo Infinite on PlayStation because it's a free-to-play multiplayer game, makes sense. But like a next Halo or Halo Infinite single player, I don't think that's coming to PlayStation, if you know what I mean. So, we'll see how that goes. But, at the end of the day, I think that's their strategy. They want to expand, sure. But, so I think there's going to be like 3 tiers of games, like, roughly, right? So Xbox Game Pass games, most of them will stay exclusive to Xbox and PC for the most part, with there's some exceptions like Minecraft, right? Like Sea of Thieves is now going to be, but that's a service game. So, but most of them will probably stay exclusive. I can see Bethesda Zenimax games, especially Zenimax games, because they will be games as service. They are games as service, even the new ones. So these games will probably be coming to Xbox first and Game Pass, and maybe 2 years later, who knows, maybe they may be coming to other platforms too. And then ABK, I think that all ABK stuff will be just multi-platform day one, like all Call of Duties and everything, Diablos and whatever, right? I mean, is there anything new coming from them anyway? I mean, they just canceled the that survival game anyway. So I know that Mike Ybarra was talking about, did say that there's a lot of new stuff coming from Bethesda, but Blizzard, but hey, I mean, I'm not sure if that's actually happening, or at least anytime soon. So yeah, I think that when it comes to Xbox, it's going to be Xbox Game Pass games, not Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Studios games will probably stay exclusive, Bethesda, Zenimax, timed exclusives, and then ABK all day one. And obviously all these games will be day one on Game Pass, because really that's what it's all about. Like, I think that in the long run they will want to grow their Xbox Game Pass subscription for the most part, so we'll see how that goes. So guys, that's the update I wanted to talk about. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I've been hearing for the last couple of weeks from different people. So but what's going to really happen? I think that even Microsoft don't really know for sure, because looks like they are in this kind of transitional kind of period where they don't really want to go full third party, because it doesn't make sense for them, and yet they don't necessarily care about consoles. They don't want to make consoles their focus, main focus, but they want a little bit of everything, I guess, right? So we'll see if that pays dividends for them. So guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.